She posted, "Healing means letting go of what holds you back," with a picture of her holding hands with my best friend. I didn't argue. I just canceled her credit cards, removed her as a dependent from my insurance, and blocked her everywhere. My name is Jason, I'm 29, and I'm a financial analyst at a hedge fund in Boston. 3 weeks ago, I woke up to a social media post that ended my 4-year relationship and a 15-year friendship in the span of 5 seconds. Today, I'm sitting in my apartment, which suddenly feels too big, trying to piece together how I missed every single red flag. Let me start from the beginning. I met Sophia when I was 25, fresh out of grad school and optimistic about everything. She was working as a yoga instructor, had this whole free spirit vibe that I found refreshing after years of being surrounded by finance bros. She moved into my place after 6 months, which my friends thought was fast, but I was in love. Young, dumb, in love. The whole package. Here's the relevant part. I made decent money. Really decent money. Sophia made about $32,000 a year teaching yoga and doing some Instagram influencer stuff on the side. It was never an issue for me. I paid the rent on our 2-bedroom in Back Bay, covered utilities, groceries, pretty much everything. She contributed what she could, and I never made her feel bad about the difference in our incomes. I added her to my health insurance when we hit the 1-year mark. I got her a credit card attached to my account for emergencies and household expenses. The car she drove? A Honda Accord that I co-signed for because her credit was terrible from some bad decisions in her early 20s. My best friend, or ex-best friend, was Derek. We met in high school, went to different colleges but stayed close, and when I moved to Boston for work, he was already here doing graphic design. He was the best man at my brother's wedding. He was supposed to be the best man at mine someday. We had this routine where we'd meet for basketball every Sunday morning at the park near my place, grab breakfast after, just hang out. Sophia knew him almost as well as she knew me. The 3 of us would do dinner together, watch movies, normal friend group stuff. About 2 months ago, I started noticing small changes. Sophia was on her phone more than usual, always tilted away from me. She'd smile at the screen in this way that made my stomach turn, but when I'd ask who she was texting, she'd say, "Just the girls," or a student asking about class schedules. Derek started canceling our Sunday basketball games. First it was once, then twice, then 3 weeks in a row. Work stuff, he said, busy with a new client. I'm not an idiot, but I also didn't want to be that guy who jumped to conclusions. So I ignored my gut, which was screaming at me that something was wrong. 3 weeks ago, on a Thursday morning, I was getting ready for work. Sophia was still in bed, scrolling through her phone. I was in the bathroom shaving when I heard her laugh, that genuine, bright laugh she used to give me when we first started dating. I poked my head out. "What's so funny?" She looked up, startled, then smiled too quickly. "Oh, just a meme Derek sent to the group chat." Except we didn't have a group chat. We'd talked about making one a dozen times but never did. "Which group chat?" The one with your college friends. You know, the random one." I didn't go to college with Derek. We went to high school together. She knew that. "Sophia?" "What?" I put my razor down and walked into the bedroom. "Show me." "Show you what?" "It's just a stupid meme, Jason." "God, why are you being so paranoid?" "I'm not being paranoid. I'm asking to see a meme that's apparently so funny you laughed out loud. That's not unreasonable." She locked her phone and put it face down on the nightstand. "You know what? I'm not doing this. I'm not letting you check my phone like I'm some criminal. If you don't trust me, maybe we have bigger problems." And there it was. The deflection, the gaslighting, making me feel crazy for asking a simple question. I went to work angry, distracted through every meeting, every email. I came home that night ready to have a real conversation, but Sophia wasn't there. She texted me around 8 p.m. saying she was getting drinks with her friend Madison and would be home late. "Don't wait up." She came home at 1:30 a.m., smelling like beer and cologne that definitely wasn't mine. I didn't sleep that night. I just lay there, staring at the ceiling, listening to her breathe beside me, wondering when I'd become this person who accepted obvious lies. Friday morning, I left for work before she woke up. I couldn't look at her. I spent the entire day in a fog, analyzing market trends while my personal life collapsed in real time. My coworker, Michelle, asked if I was okay during lunch. I said I was fine. She didn't believe me. Saturday, Sophia told me she was going to a yoga workshop in Cambridge. All-day thing. She'd be home by 7 p.m. I didn't believe her, but I said okay. After she left, I did something I'm not proud of. I checked our phone records online. I'm the primary account holder, so I have access to everything. And there it was. Hundreds of texts between her number and Derek's number over the past 6 weeks. Not just texts. Late-night calls. Calls that lasted an hour, 2 hours. Calls at midnight, 1 a.m., times when she was supposedly asleep next to me. I felt like I was going to throw up. I wanted to call him, call her, scream at both of them. Instead, I went for a run. 6 miles turned into 8, turned into 10. My legs were shaking when I finally stopped at a bench overlooking the Charles River. I sat there for an hour, just thinking. When I got home, Sophia was already back, cooking dinner like nothing was wrong. She smiled at me. "Hey, babe. How was your run? You were gone forever." "It was fine. I made your favorite, chicken parmesan." We ate dinner in silence while she chattered about her fake yoga workshop. I nodded in the right places, made neutral sounds, and felt absolutely nothing. Sunday morning, I woke up to find Sophia already gone. There was a note on the kitchen counter. "Went for a hike with Madison. Back this afternoon. Love you." I knew she wasn't with Madison. I spent that Sunday doing something very specific and very deliberate. I logged into every account that had her name attached to it. I removed her as an authorized user on my credit card. I called my insurance company and started the process to remove her as a dependent. They said it would take effect in 72 hours. I changed the passwords on every streaming service, every shared account. I didn't touch the car yet because her name was on the loan too, but I made a note to call the bank on Monday. Then I waited. She came home around 6 p.m., glowing, happy, completely oblivious. We ordered takeout, watched a movie, went to bed. She fell asleep immediately. I didn't sleep at all. Monday morning, while I was at work, she posted it. Someone from my office saw it first and sent me a screenshot. Then another person sent it. Then another. It was an Instagram post. A picture of Sophia and Derek holding hands in front of some hiking trail I didn't recognize. The caption, "Healing means letting go of what holds you back." Sometimes the person you're meant to be with was right in front of you all along. Grateful for real love. I stared at that post for 5 full minutes. Not because I was heartbroken. I'd already grieved this relationship over the weekend. I stared because of the audacity, the sheer breathtaking audacity of posting that while still living in my apartment, using my health insurance, carrying my credit card in her wallet. I didn't call her. I didn't text her. I didn't do anything dramatic. I blocked her on everything. Instagram, Facebook, phone number, email, blocked Derek too. Then I sent a very polite email to HR confirming that I was removing Sophia Chen as my domestic partner from my health insurance, effective immediately. I called my credit card company and reported the authorized user card as lost, had them cancel it and send me a new one with a different number. Then I went back to work. I had 3 meetings that afternoon and I crushed all of them. Update 1. Sophia came home around 5 p.m. I was already there, sitting on the couch with a whiskey, watching the Celtics game. She walked in like she owned the place, which I guess she thought she did. "Jason, we need to talk." "No, we don't." "I know you saw the post. I wanted to tell you in person, but you were too busy letting Derek console you this weekend." "Yeah, I figured." She flinched. "It's not like that. I don't care what it's like, Sophia. I want you out of my apartment." "Your apartment?" "We've lived here together for 3 years. My name is on the lease, just mine. You have no legal right to be here. I want you out by Friday. Friday? Jason, that's 4 days. Should have thought about that before you posted your relationship announcement while still living with your ex-boyfriend. I took a sip of whiskey. 4 days. Take what's yours, leave what's mine, and go be with Derek. You're being ridiculous. We need to have an actual conversation about this. Conversation's over. Friday. She tried a different tactic. Where am I supposed to go? Derek's place. That's clearly where you've been spending your time anyway. He has a studio apartment. Sounds cozy. She started crying then, which would have worked on me a month ago. Hell, it would have worked on me a week ago. But I'd had days to process this, and I was done. Jason, please. I know I messed up, but you can't just throw me out. Watch me. She went to the bedroom, slammed the door. I turned up the volume on the game. Update 2. Tuesday morning, I got a call from Derek. I don't know how. I'd blocked his number, but he called from a different phone. Jason, man, please let me explain. I almost hung up, but curiosity got the better of me. You've got 1 minute. It just happened, okay? We didn't plan this. We were hanging out because you were always working late and we just connected. I feel terrible about it, but I can't help how I feel. You feel terrible. Yeah, man. You're my best friend. I never wanted to hurt you. I laughed, genuinely laughed. Derek, if you feel so terrible, why are you with her? Why did you let her post that? Why didn't you tell me before I had to find out on social media? Silence. That's what I thought. Lose my number. I hung up. Wednesday, Sophia was still in my apartment. I'd been sleeping in the guest room, coming home late, leaving early. I was giving her space to pack, but she wasn't packing. She was acting like if she just waited long enough, I'd cave. Thursday night, I came home to find her in the living room with packed bags. I'm leaving tomorrow, she said. Her eyes were red. But Jason, I need you to know. I do love you. I always did. This thing with Derek, it's real. But that doesn't mean what we had wasn't real, too. Do you need money for a security deposit somewhere? She blinked. What? For an apartment. Do you need help with the deposit? No. Derek and I are going to figure it out. Great. Make sure you leave your key on the counter. Friday morning, she was gone when I woke up. The apartment felt different immediately, lighter somehow. She'd left the key, taken her clothes, her yoga mats, her collection of self-help books. She'd also taken some of my stuff, a few books, some kitchen supplies, a framed photo of us that I wouldn't have wanted anyway. I spent that Friday evening doing absolutely nothing. Ordered pizza, drank beer, watched basketball. It was perfect. Update 3. 2 weeks went by. Quiet, peaceful weeks. I went to work, hit the gym, hung out with coworkers, went on a date with Michelle from accounting that went surprisingly well. I wasn't heartbroken. I was relieved. It felt like I'd been holding my breath for months and could finally exhale. Then, exactly 14 days after Sophia moved out, I got a text from a number I didn't recognize. Why is my car being repossessed? I stared at that text for a solid minute before I realized what had happened. See, here's the thing about that Honda Accord. I co-signed the loan. My name was on it, my credit was tied to it. But I'd been making the payments directly from my account every month because Sophia's finances were a disaster. She thought the payments were automatic from her account, but they weren't. They were coming from mine. And 2 weeks ago, when I closed all our shared finances, I'd canceled that auto pay too. She'd missed 2 payments. The bank had been calling her. I knew this because they'd called me too as the co-signer, and I'd simply told them she was handling it from now on. After 2 missed payments and no response to their calls, they'd started repossession proceedings. I typed out a reply. You missed 2 payments. The car was repossessed because you didn't pay for it. Her response came immediately. You were paying for it. You know I can't afford those payments. That was when we were together. We're not together anymore. Jason, that car is my only way to get to work. How am I supposed to teach classes without a car? Not my problem anymore, Sophia. You're being cruel. I'm being practical. The car loan was always supposed to be your responsibility. I was helping you because we were building a life together. You chose to end that life. Now you get to handle your own responsibilities. I can't afford this. Then you should have thought about that before you decided Derek was your soulmate. She called me 14 times over the next hour. I didn't answer. Then Derek called from his number, which I'd forgotten to keep blocked. Jason, man, this is messed up. She needs that car. Then you buy her one, Derek. You're her boyfriend now. That's your job. I don't have that kind of money. Yeah, neither did she, which is why I was paying for it. But I'm not paying for my ex-girlfriend's car anymore. Pretty simple math. You're being vindictive. I'm being responsible with my money. There's a difference. He hung up on me. Update 4. The texts didn't stop. Over the next few days, I got messages from Sophia's friends, her sister, even her mom, who I'd always actually liked. Her mom's text was the only one I responded to. Jason, I know what Sophia did was wrong, but leaving her without a car is harsh. She's my daughter and I love her, but I also know she made mistakes. Can you please help her get the car back? I wrote back, Mrs. Chen, I respect you a lot. But Sophia is 28 years old. She made an adult decision to leave me for Derek. Part of being an adult is handling the consequences of your decisions. I was paying for that car as a partner helping his girlfriend. I'm not her partner anymore. I'm sorry she's struggling, but that's between her and Derek now. She wrote back, I understand. Take care of yourself, Jason. That was the end of it from her family. But Sophia kept trying. She sent me a long email about how I was being financially abusive by cutting her off. She claimed that because we'd lived together for 3 years, I had a legal obligation to support her. I forwarded the email to a lawyer friend who literally laughed and said, She has no case. You were dating, not married. Tell her to kick rocks. Meanwhile, my life was actually getting better. Michelle and I went on a 3rd date. I got a promotion at work, senior analyst, $30,000 raise. I started playing basketball again with some guys from the office. I wasn't spending $3,000 a month subsidizing someone else's life choices, so I was saving more money than I ever had. Derek posted something on social media about the real ones stick by you no matter what. I saw it because a mutual friend sent it to me, shaking his head. Apparently, Derek and Sophia's relationship was already rocky. Turns out when you build a relationship on betrayal and fantasy, reality hits pretty hard. Final update. It's been 6 weeks now since Sophia moved out. I heard through the grapevine that she's staying with Derek, and yeah, they're miserable. His studio apartment isn't big enough for 2 people and all her stuff. She's taking the bus to teach yoga classes, which means she can't teach as many because of the schedule limitations. Her income dropped by about 40%. She tried to get another credit card, but got denied because her credit score tanked after missing those car payments. Derek's apparently stressed because he's now financially supporting both of them on a graphic designer's salary, which is decent, but nowhere near enough for 2 people in Boston. Someone told me they got into a huge fight at a coffee shop last week about money. Meanwhile, I'm genuinely doing great. Michelle and I are taking things slow, but she's smart, funny, and here's the revolutionary part. She has her own career, her own apartment, and her own finances. We split checks. We take turns planning dates. She doesn't need me to fund her lifestyle. I ran into Derek's sister at Whole Foods 2 days ago. She apologized to me, said her brother was an idiot, and she'd told him that. She said Sophia keeps complaining about money, and Derek keeps complaining about how different Sophia is now that they're actually together. The fantasy wore off fast. I thanked her for the apology and moved on with my shopping. I'm not going to lie and say I don't think about Sophia sometimes. 4 years is a long time. But when I think about her now, I mostly feel grateful. Grateful that she showed me who she was before I married her, before we had kids, before I invested more years into someone who saw me as a bank account with occasional boyfriend benefits. That Instagram post, "Healing means letting go of what holds you back," ended up being true, just not the way she meant it. I let go of someone who was holding me back financially, emotionally, and mentally, and I've never felt freer.